SecurityGateway includes AI email classification for stronger protection against email-borne threats. AI email classification is a threat detection feature that uses artificial intelligence to analyze message content and classify messages as spam, phishing, commercial, containing personally identifiable information, or legitimate. You can then set rules to determine which messages will be analyzed and what actions will be taken, such as reject, quarantine, or add to the message's spam score based on the resulting AI classification. The benefits of using AI email classification include advanced threat detection to identify sophisticated phishing attempts that traditional filters might miss, sensitive content identification to detect messages containing personally identifiable information or PII or other sensitive data, and improved filtering with greater accuracy. To understand how AI email classification works, it's helpful to understand these three concepts: AI models, prompts, and rules. An AI model is a process that uses artificial intelligence techniques such as machine learning or deep learning to perform tasks that typically require human intelligence. These tasks include understanding natural language, recognizing images, and making predictions. AI models are trained on large data sets and can learn patterns, relationships, and decision-making processes to perform these tasks automatically. An AI prompt is a specific instruction, question, or piece of text that is passed to your selected AI model to guide its behavior and generate a desired output. It's essentially a way to communicate with the AI service and tell it what you want it to do. Rules allow you to specify which email messages you'd like to analyze and what actions you'd like to take, such as quarantine or reject, based on analysis results. So now that you know what AI email classification is, let's go over how to implement it in SecurityGateway. The first step is to define an AI model to query. In SecurityGateway, select the AI Classification tab, then click on Models in the lower navigation bar. Click on New to add your new model. You have 4 AI models to choose from: OpenAI ChatGPT, Google Gemini, Local, or Custom. OpenAI or ChatGPT includes 2 options. GPT 4.1 Mini may provide a good balance of performance and cost for general tasks. GTP 4.1 is more powerful, and while it may be better for complex analysis, it may incur higher costs. Google Gemini is designed for speed and accuracy. If you prefer not to send your data to a third-party provider, local AI models such as Local AI or Ollama can be used, but keep in mind that with local models, performance may be a concern, especially if you don't have a dedicated GPU or AI accelerator hardware. Local models are also typically less capable than the leading cloud models at nuanced tasks like accurately detecting if a message is phishing or purely commercial. However, they can be very effective for other use cases, such as tagging messages based on specific content patterns you define. You can also choose to use a custom AI model. Once you've chosen an AI model, the display name and endpoint URL will be updated automatically. If you have obtained an API key from your service provider, you can enter it here. Next, enter the AI model name. If you do not yet have an AI model name, you can click Fetch List to produce a drop-down list of available models. By default, SecurityGateway will wait 60 seconds for an AI response before giving up. Use the temperature parameter to control the randomness of the AI responses on a scale of 0 to 2. A temperature of 0.1, for example, would be very narrow and deterministic, which could cause incorrect classifications. On the other hand, a setting of 2.0 would be highly random and could produce unrelated results. In most cases, you should leave this set to the default value of 1.0. If you need to include any additional HTTP request headers, you can enter those here. Once your AI model is configured, click Test Connection on the top of the dialog to make sure that your server is communicating with the configured AI model. You can then click Save and Close to save your AI model. The next step in configuring AI classification in SecurityGateway is to configure prompts. An AI prompt is a specific instruction, question, or block of text that is passed to your selected AI model to guide its behavior and generate a desired output. In other words, it's essentially a way to communicate with the AI service and tell it what you want it to do. Click on the Prompts menu, then click on the button to create your new prompt. Enter a name and description for your new prompt, and then select the AI model that you'd like to use with this prompt. Then, enter the text of the prompt, which will be sent to the selected AI model. This prompt will request the AI model to return one of the allowed classification labels specified below, so be sure to also specify the classification labels that you'd like to use. For example, legitimate, unsolicited, commercial, phishing, or HIPAA, among others. You can view an example of a sample prompt by clicking this button. After you've entered your prompt text, you can test it by clicking this button. Then click Save and Close to save your new prompt. Now that we've defined our models and prompts, the next step is to define rules to specify which email messages you'd like to analyze and what actions you'd like to take, such as quarantine or reject, based on the results of the email classification process. Click on the Rules menu, then click this button to create a new rule. Use the drop-down menu to specify whether this rule will apply globally or if you'd like to use it for a specific domain. Enter a name for your new rule. Next, use the drop-down menu to select an AI prompt to be used with this rule. Now we're ready to specify conditions to define exactly which messages will be analyzed by this rule. This works basically the same way that SecurityGateway's content filter works. Using rules to analyze only messages that meet specific criteria helps lower processing overhead and costs that may be incurred from the AI provider. In this case, I'm going to configure my new rule to analyze all messages from non-local domains. In other words, the mail from is not a local user. Be sure to save your new condition. Next, use this button to assign the actions that you'd like to be taken based on the email classification results. Let's say, for example, that we'd like to send all commercial email to the recipient's quarantine. Simply select Commercial in the Classification Label drop-down menu, then under the Action drop-down menu, click on Quarantine, and then click Save and Close. You can add additional actions as needed. So for example, if I want to simply delete all messages classified as spam, I can add another action, select spam as the classification label, then select discard under the action drop-down menu. Be sure to click Save and Close to save your new AI classification action. Then click Save and Close to save your new AI classification rule. Because data is passed to a third-party provider, cost is a valid concern when using cloud-based AI models. Therefore, you should test various models to see which would work best for you. OpenAI may offer a certain number of free tokens for new accounts. For more extensive testing, or if you agree to their data usage policies, which might involve allowing them to use your data for training purposes, you might find options for reduced cost or free testing. Google Cloud AI, when used with a free Google Cloud account, often provides a limited number of free requests as part of their free tier, which can be useful for initial testing and familiarization. To avoid any unexpected costs, always review the current terms of service for any AI provider. You can use AI rules to restrict which messages are sent for classification. For example, you could choose to use AI classification only for messages addressed to certain users, such as those whom you think might be most vulnerable to phishing attempts. AI email classification is one of many security features found in SecurityGateway. Whether you're using Microsoft 365, Microsoft Exchange, MDaemon, or any other email service, SecurityGateway can help protect your business from email-borne threats. Visit mdaemon.com to download your free trial.